This program is dedicated to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, past, present, and future. Meet Keith Warren. As a 30-year veteran of the outdoor industry and devoted conservationist, the original Texas angler and outdoor television icon has hunted around the world and across America, showing you big game, educating outdoorsmen, and uniting all hunters. That's Keith Warren, and this is The High Road.
If you like shooting as much as I do, I got a way that, hey, I've been shooting in my office for the last 5 minutes and nobody's heard a shot at all. And the reason why is I found a new product, and it is this little target system. It's made by Laser Light. This is the way it works. First off, I'm shooting a Glock Model 22. Okay, we're gonna drop the magazine out of it. You're gonna wanna pay attention. If you're gonna wanna learn to shoot better, I don't know of a better cool way to shoot better than with this system here. Okay, as with any kind of training, you want to make sure obviously that gun safety is paramount. What we're going to do, we're going to open the chamber, and on the inside I have a specialty cartridge, okay, and it's made by Laser Light. This little cartridge right here has a little push button on the back, okay, and that little push button right there, every time the firing pin is depressed, that little laser goes off. It comes in a variety of different sizes. And so what we do is we make sure, like again, I said, drop the magazine out of it, make sure the gun is unloaded. Always practice gun safety, no matter if you're practicing with a dummy little electronic laser cartridge like this, or whether you're practicing in the field with a live round. Always gun safety is paramount. So we're going to put the little training cartridge in. We're going to close it up, holster it, and now I'm going to show you how this works. You're going to like this. When doing this, I highly encourage you to do it properly. Do it because you can get in bad habits real easily. And so get in a good habit of being, having your stance right, drawing your firearm properly, taking aim, do everything like it's for real. Because all this training right here doesn't amount to a hill of beans if you get out in the field and hey, you can't make the shot, or you're trying to defend yourself in a home invasion and you can't take care of business. So always treat it with respect and always be safe. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we've got the gun holstered. I'm going to reach, I'm going to draw the gun, I'm going to take aim and fire. Cock. Now, this is a single action, but this little cartridge works on double actions too. I encourage everybody out there to do not shoot it multiple times. There's a reason for that. Okay, if you wind up shooting, just if you have a double action, you just keep pulling the trigger and shooting. Well, that's not realistic because you're going to have recoil at the range. If you have a live round in here, obviously you're going to have recoil whether you're a double action or single action. So I like to fire one shot because that one shot needs to be on the money, because if you don't hit that first shot, well, the odds of survival are less. So always practice carefully, and just I encourage you to do one shot. So as soon as I fire, I cock the gun, put it back in my holster. That's exactly the way that gun is all the time anyway, because with a Glock, with the trigger the way it is, okay, it's a safe gun. So I have one in the chamber all the time. So if ever startled and I need to defend myself, I can draw, take aim, and fire. Cock, reholster. What this does for me, it allows me to get instant target acquisition. Now, if I'm in a hunting situation, what I'm going to do is obviously take aim very, very carefully. But in a personal defense situation like this, you're not going to have time to aim. You just point and fire. It's affordable. You can spend hours doing this. Now, I've shot a whole bunch of times, and I don't know where I hit exactly. All right, the way to determine where I hit exactly is now I have to aim, okay, for a very small target, and there you go. Okay, what that does, that displays where the shots have been. So now I can see where all my shots are. I'm doing pretty good. we're going to take an aim, not point, aim. There you go. All right, this right here, it allows me the opportunity to practice with my Glock and do so very affordably, and gives me a lot of confidence whether I'm needing to use it in a home defense situation or whether I'm hunting, which is what I always do. So I've got my Glock with me all the time. The way that I can get to be a better shooter is to practice, practice, practice. A lot of times I can't, the weather's bad, it's inclement, I can't get to the range, or the range is just not in my schedule that day, but I got 5-10 minutes that I can actually shoot in the conference room. Pretty cool deal.
The High Road with Keith Warren is brought to you in part by Gamma Precision Air Rifles, Glock, Oil-Filled Camo, and Heartcraft Hunting Products.
I've been hunting all my life, and for the most part, when I started out gun hunting, I think most people start gun hunting, and then I kind of went to bow hunting and crossbow hunting, and I hunt every way there is now, and I hunt with a handgun. And the reason why I started hunting with a handgun was to give me confidence in the event that I ever need to protect myself or my family from an intruder. But if I'm only going to use my Glock for personal defense, I think, well, that's not really good. So what I want to do is I want to learn how to hunt with it. And I started hunting with my Glock, and I've killed deer with it, and hogs, and an elk. I mean, I've shot a lot of different stuff using a Glock, and I have now a lot more confidence than I used to. But the deal is that my choice of Glock, the caliber, is a Model 21, it's a 45. But this is not what Chad's choice is. I mean, mine, this is it right here. But it is not the same gun that Chad shoots. And I'm gonna have him tell you what he shoots and why.
Well, Keith, like you said, you hunt with a different model than I do. And you hunt with a 21, the 45 ACP. I hunt with the model G20, which is a 10 millimeter. Either one, the 10 millimeter or the 45 are both excellent cartridges. But back when I started handgun hunting, the G20 was the only one legal in Georgia for what we made. A lot of the states now have changed their laws and the criteria for handgun hunting, so it opens many, many, many more options. But the 10 millimeter, my choice again, because it carries a lot of energy. And like today when we were shooting this morning, I'm getting a 180 grain bullet at approximately 1,250 feet per second, and that's a lethal pill.
That's a smoker.
With today's technology and powders and everything, it's only going to get better. The ammunition's getting better every day.
The main purpose that people would primarily buy Glock is for home defense. And you hope you will never have to use it in a situation where you have to defend your family. But when you shoot an animal with this dude right here, or the 10 millimeter, and you're shooting 30, 40, 50 yards, and you can wind up, hit the animal, and see him drop, and you see how effective it is, absolutely positively you know that if you have an intruder, you're going to be able to take care of business right there. But you don't want to ever take a shot that you're not confident of. And the one way that you're going to get confidence is practice, practice, and practice some more. And the more practice you do, the better your confidence gets, and you're going to be able to protect your family better in the event if you need to do that. But you're going to be able to pack your Glock with you in a hunting situation and use it. Get some confidence. I think you'll like it. Today we've got a hunter in. He's a returning hunter, actually. He's from Georgia. His name is Chad Mathis. Chad was with us last year and shot a super management deer. And he's back again this year. He's packing his Glock, the same one I shoot. And we're gonna get in the blind with him and see how that works out.
Wow, look at that. Oh, look at that beautiful deer. Texas 10-pointer. This is the second year I've came here and got a very nice buck with a handgun. And starting to look forward to this every year. Put it right in the heart. He ran maybe 30 yards piled up. This handgun hunting is getting more and more interesting to me, because if I move my head wrong, if the barrel of my pistol touches the side of the blind or the stand or whatever, they're going to bust me. And so if you haven't done it, you should try it. It's really fun, and it's almost like going back and taking that first deer again when it does happen. And I'm just lucky enough that, you know, Keith invited me out here to Hidden Springs Ranch, and I came last year and had a great time. If you never came to Hidden Springs Ranch and hunted with Keith, try it. You'll really like it. The hospitality is great, and they've got some really good deer out here, and just a great place to come to.
The High Road with Keith Warren is brought to you in part by Reconyx Game Cameras, Savage Arms, Grizzly Cartridge Company, and Jarden Consumer Solutions, makers of the Game Saver. Off Power Polaris presents Viewer Feedback.
Mr. Warren, what's the current death count this year? I'm referring to how many animals you have murdered in cold blood. How can you be happy? I'm an elementary school teacher, and teach my kids that the best predictor of happiness is the quality of a person's social relationships. It's clear you must not have a quality social life, as you are clearly unhappy. Stop taking it out on animals, get some help. Betty Marburg from Detroit, Michigan. Betty, you're wrong, baby. Let me tell you something. The animals that we kill, there's not any of them that go to waste. I didn't say that we eat every single one of them, okay? Most of them, big game animals, yes, we do eat them. But we shoot rodents, some prairie dogs, and people may say, well, those things you don't eat them. No, we don't, but they're not going to waste, because coyotes and buzzards and badgers and everything else eat them, so nothing goes to waste out there. I mean, and what's scary about this whole thing is that you're a school teacher and you're teaching our children. That's the scary part of this whole deal. What you ought to be teaching children is to get outside in nature and enjoy nature and become one with it. And all of a sudden, I think that the more kids that we get outside, the better the kids are going to be. So all I can say is, up in Detroit, y'all need to watch out for Betty. Got him. What do you think about that, bad boy? What do you think about that?
Nice shot.
That right there, my friends, is the reason why I carry a Glock. You know, Glock is my number one choice for personal defense in my home, and I wind up using it all the time on hunting trips, and going on a little hunting trip and doing something like that just gives me all the confidence in the world. If I'm able to hit something the size of a prairie dog, what do you think that is, Gun? How far? 50 yards, I guess, 55 yards? Well, I think I could hit a man at 20.
Right here in North Dakota this year, we've had more moisture than ever, and we're dealing with kind of a big flood along the Missouri River. High releases coming down, taking Bismarck and Mandan by storm. A lot of homes getting impacted by this, and it doesn't just stop here, it goes all the way downstream. So while we're out here taking a few hours to shoot some prairie dogs, just a big thank you to everybody back, especially National Guard. and all the volunteers that we've been having to help sandbag to protect those homes, even if they don't have any connection or family down there, they're still down there helping out. We really appreciate that. And right after we get back from the prairie dog shooting here, we're going to go back to work and do some more sandbagging.
45, baby. All right. Ay, 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 ay. Look at that! Look at that! Now my Gammo has been doing some damage to them, but it hadn't been doing that big of damage. Look at that. Folks, that is a 45 auto Glock right there. And that's a mama dog. That's a dogette, a prairie dogette. And look how far away from the hole it was. One big step and another half big step right here. That is awesome. Again, I'm gonna do a little bit of bragging on my Glock. Okay, this is model 21, 45, and I'm telling you something, it is bad to the bone. Before we head off to break, I want to thank Scott Bachmeyer for his hospitality. The folks over at the Best Western Seven Seas Hotel in Mandan, North Dakota, and also my friends over at Cedric Field Toyota in Bismarck for providing some great transportation while I was up there on this prairie dog shoot.
The High Road with Keith Warren is brought to you in part by Striker Crossbows, Half Power Polaris, Burt Coyotes Luminoc and Lumineros, the new supercharged scent killer by Wildlife Research Center, Beyond 99%, and BSA Optics.
Just to give you an idea about how durable a Glock is, Chad's going to show you something, and I would not recommend you doing this out of the range, but you could, because your Glock will perform just like this. I wouldn't try this with any other gun though, but with a Glock you can do this. Every time. Pretty hot, isn't it?
Getting a little bit hot. Cool her off a little bit.
Now that may flip somebody out, but take a look at this. Watch now.
Hands wet. Let's go hunting, Keith.
Will your gun do that? If it's a Glock, it will.
And what we're trying to do is we're trying to manage the herd.
You're wondering what I'm using. This was Glock's Model 20, which is 10 millimeter, which was primarily designed for law enforcement and personal protection, but it's starting to become real popular on the hunting scene.
Big one on the right.
These are Glock Model 20 here, and the range was about 35 yards. Shot placement on hunting with a handgun is extremely important. You've got a lot less powerful cartridge than your typical rifles. It's important to use the right ammunition so that you have plenty, as much power as you can for the caliber. And 10 millimeter did the job today. That looked like a good shot.
The owner of the Scorpion Ranch told me that I could hunt for any animal I wanted to out here, and they've got a lot of different sheep species, and so I've decided I'm going to hunt for a sheep, a red sheep to be specific. I'll be using a Glock Model 21. It's a 45 auto. How far is he?
He's 55 yards right now, moving right to left.
Got him. Got him. Watch him down.
He's going.
Watch him down.
Boom! What do you think of that?
Good shot.
Woo!
Good shot.
What we have here is an infestation of nutria rats. They've infested all of South Louisiana. There's a bounty on them. I will be the bounty hunter. And $4. That's cool. That did it. There we go. Pretty good. He's right there. He's dead right now.
Smoked him. Got him, smoked him. He's waving goodbye.
Woo! 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 Right here, boy. The hell you say? Rat control.
Hey. Hey. Got it. Got it. That right there is a Glock 45 Auto Model 21. And that right there is a dead swamp deer. You gotta love this thing. Hey. Got him. Got him. Glock strikes again. 40 yards. A Louisiana marsh whitetail. That's pretty cool.